remember Kieran from last week?
Yeah.
Mr. Inspirational.
Mr. Rock Thrower.
Yeah, I fell off a cliff and a boulder landed on my head and I'm still fine.
Yeah.
That,
and by the way, I just run sub-4 marathons for breakfast. Yeah,
ultra marathon. I saw him this morning. I was on the school run, walking home. I've just been, my morning routine is up, gym, sauna, school run. So I'm on my way back from the school run, and I'm wearing my shorts because it's a leg day. As I'm walking up, he went, did you do legs today? And I got so excited.
Oh, my Lord.
Somebody noticed. Do you know that feeling when someone noticed what you've been doing? How good that feels.
It does feel nice, but dude, you're wearing Daisy Dukes.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
When someone notices that you've been working hard, how good does that?
It feels amazing.
Right?
Yeah, it does feel amazing.
Yeah. So I'm walking down the road. I cross paths with Kieran, the Inspirational, and he says, "Oh, you done leg day today?" And I was like, "Oh my God, yes." How can you tell? He went, "Oh, because you creamed your legs today." Ruined my entire morning.
And you know what? Thank you, Kieran.
Because you creamed your legs today.
Because you creamed your ashy
cracked kneecaps that are normal. Because a little while ago, he caught me on a day where I was running late and I looked like I'd been playing football with a bag of flour.
No.
It was so much. And I don't think people understand the skincare regime that we will actually go through, because that's something that's inherently put into us.
Dude, generational trauma.
Yeah.
You can't have dry or ashy elbows or kneecaps.
Black don't crack because we cream it.
No.
And I've had these conversations with other people, and like, do you find this because you think our kids are mixed race?
Yeah.
So I'm used to cream yourself.
Yeah.
The amount of times when they've come out to go to school and I'm like, get back upstairs.
Yeah.
I can't have, you got dry knees.
Yeah.
I can't deal with this.
Yeah.
Kieran did that to me. I felt so judged.
Because things are, when that judgment comes, it takes you back to childhood.
Yeah.
You just saying that now, I had vision of my mum going, get upstairs, cream your knees.
Yeah.
All right, moisturize. And so many people don't moisturize.
Yeah.
And you go, but why would you not?
I don't get people that don't moisturize.
It confuses me.
It feels weird to me. I think again, it's because it's something that we've always had to do.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, you shower and then you moisturize, you cream yourself.
Yeah, you something. You don't just air dry and hope for the best.
I mean, for me, when I was a kid, I had eczema.
Okay.
So I had to moisturize.
Yeah.
And it became like a compulsive thing where if I didn't want, because it irritated my skin, I'd be scratching. So I'm always really aware of that. But sometimes there are those days where you get caught slipping.
Oh, yeah.
And Kieran called me on one of those days. And now it's been a while and he still managed to bring me back down to that.
But seriously, no matter how good your legs were looking that day.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter now.
Does not
matter.
All
you heard was ashy knees, dry knees.
Krusty the Clown.
Did you see my post the other day where I shared a post from an AI company where someone had said to ChatGPT, please motivate me in a horrible way to get up and have my workout today? And ChatGPT went to town on this person.
Oh, for real?
I actually put a vote on as a poll and said, was ChatGPT brutal, firm but fair, or too much? And it literally was like 85% of people were like, it's firm but fair. I thought it was brutal.
The thing is though, sometimes brutality is what's needed in things like that.
Right. Nicey goes so far with some people.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to go.
I think it depends on the situation and the person.
Totally.
So it's the whole carrot versus stick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some people respond better to being given something nice. Some people want to hear the hard truth.
Yeah.
But it's the whole phrase of facts don't care about your feelings.
No, right.
And there are times where you've got, so this was something that I sort of started to realize how much I'm in my own way.
Yeah.
And how much a lot of times people get in their own way because we all say things like, so for example, one of the biggest reasons that people, and it is a valid reason, it's one of the biggest reasons people have to not train, or lifestyle issues, or healthier eating, is work.
Yeah.
Because especially if you go 9 to 5, and also shift work, there's so many different reasons and things, because once you've gone to work, once you finish work, you've then got to do everything outside of work that is part of your life.
Yeah.
So it's so easy to come up with and I won't say excuse, I'll say a reason. Excuse has got a negative connotation.
Totally.
Whereas a reason is valid.
Yeah.
But I think if I get up early, so the reason I go in the morning is because when my eldest was born, that's when I started getting back into thinking I need to train.
Yeah.
And my plan was I'm going to go to the gym every day after work on my way home. Now, let's factor a newborn baby into that equation and go, were you really thinking about that properly?
Yeah.
Does not work.
No.
Because there's days where she's knackered and I need to get home. So that every day turned into once a week if I'm lucky.
And then what happened?
Nothing changed.
Right. There you go.
Nothing changed. I got sadder.
Yeah.
So the only thing I could do, and I hated it at the beginning, because I'm not a morning person, was to get up at 6. And it took a month of me to stop being angry at everyone.
Yeah.
For everything.
Yeah.
You could have asked me the time and I would have sworn at you.
What you said earlier on about factoring, that's what sticks out to me. Because people don't factor in life getting in the way of their journey. Yeah. That makes sense? So people's reasons or excuses, and as a coach and as a trainer, I hear that all the time. Because people go, yeah, especially when then people fill out their forms or questionnaires, who want to train me? And I'm like, how often do you think you can train? They're like, I can train 4 or 5 times a week. I'm like, how many times are you training at the moment? They're like, once. And I'm like, that's not realistic. And then people set themselves such high expectations, and you go, you're not factoring the fact that you might have a family, a partner, you have kids, you have work. Okay, you've got to do all the other things outside of work. All right, you've got life. If you're not factoring all these things into it, don't start making plans that your timetable won't allow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Does that make sense?
Yes, because then you're giving yourself a bigger cliff to fall off of.
Totally.
That's I've never thought of it like that. People don't so you as a coach, when you're meeting with people, and so do you say to them, do you talk about what they do right now?
Always. But so what I tend to do is, and everyone's different, there's no right or wrong, everyone's different, but I'll ask them how long they've wanted to achieve whatever their goal is.
Right.
If they've hit that goal before, I'm like, what did you do that got you there?
Right.
If they've never hit it, I'll go, okay, so what are you doing right now that's going to get you close to that goal? If they're not doing any of the things, the behaviors that will get them to that goal, I'm like, right, so it's not even about the training, it's not even about the eating. That's a lifestyle change thing first.
Yeah.
Because you've not created any space. I've got people in my life, people I know, clients who will say, I just don't have time. And you go, fine. But you might have been saying that for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years.
I think no one has time.
No one has time. You make time.
Yeah, nobody has time.
No.
You have to make it.
You have to make it.
There's going to be something's going to be sacrificed.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And I think the question is that thing you're sacrificing more important than the thing you're trying to get?
There you go.
That's the difficult, because sometimes I'm like, I know it is. I don't want it to be, because I want to sit here and eat cake. I mean, it always goes back to me eating cake.
I've noticed that. That's not a bad thing. I mean, but I'll say this right now. I'll say this. You and your eating cake thing, it's never going to go away. But what I will say is, you're looking good, dude.
114.9.
Say it with chest. Say it with your chest.
114.9. And the thing that I've had to, I think that was a mental step. And I was being brutal with myself.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, 130.3. And I was saying things to people that I didn't even believe to be true. So do you know when you're going, you're telling people, oh, this is my goal. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm telling people my first goal was to get to 115.
Yeah.
I did not believe I could do it at that point.
Okay.
Seriously, zero belief.
Yeah.
I thought if I lose 5 to 6, I've done okay.
Yeah.
But then I thought if I say something, I have to do it.
Yeah.
So that's what I tried to get in the mindset of is, do I just do a little bit at a time, forget the days, just as long as the numbers go in the right way,
yeah,
you're doing okay. Because, do you know, you'll see this with your clients, that once you get past a certain point, the results become addictive.
Oh, totally.
And then all of a sudden things start to fit a little bit better.
Yeah.
And you start to feel a little bit better. But when you as a trainer, how long do you have to know people before you decide carrot or stick? Because this is one of the reasons I can't be a trainer, because I know that I'm brutal.
Yeah.
And I'll just tell you, because my thing has always been, don't ask me the question if you don't want to hear my answer, which I know isn't okay in all situations.
No.
But my brain just goes, nah, just say it, they'll be fine.
But the thing is, though, it might not be all situations, but it'll be many situations.
Yeah.
And that's why it's nice to have a range of PTs out there. There's some PTs and some coaches that I look at online and I think, you're way too aggressive for me.
Yeah.
Or
that's a nice way you've said it, though. It's not they're way too aggressive, you're way too aggressive for me.
That's it. I think a good coach or a good trainer is someone who, I think you said, you asked the question was, at what point do you think you can identify it? Everyone's different.
Yeah.
Some clients on the telephone call or the consultation are like, do you know what? You're a little flower. You need to be handled carefully and built up your confidence to then be able to be brutally honest. Because if you're brutally honest with someone too early, you break them. My mum always said to me, and it stuck with me as a parent, she said, bend them when they're young, because they'll break when they're older. Listen to that Jamaican proverb. Bend them when they're young, because they'll break when they're older. So what she's trying to say is get the good habits in early. Because if you try and change those habits when they're adults or older, it's harder. And I love that. And it's the same with training people. Sometimes you have to build someone up, get them flexible, get them to go with you. So eventually you can go, let's do this.
Do you know when marathon runners, and we were talking like last week, people do the ultra running and marathon running. There's one thing I've seen on marathon runners. Have you seen where they'll just wet themselves as they're running? They just go to the toilet as they're running.
Yeah.
I never used to understand that. And then this week I've been running a lot more, and I was on a treadmill, and I was close to doing. So when I run on the treadmill, I'm all about active calories.
Yeah. So
I try and, because I don't know what the real distance is, because people that go, oh, I'm running at 12 miles an hour. You're not. It's moving at that speed. You might not be. So I try to focus on the amount of effort I'm making that I judge with active calories.
Okay.
So I'm going to run for half an hour, and I want to beat the active calories that I did the last time. So I'm working harder.
Love it.
I got to about 17 minutes the other morning, and do you know those feelings? You ever gone to travel somewhere and you go, I need to go to the toilet. Oh, it's fine. I'll wait. And then the moment you leave the house,
it hits you.
You go, I need to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
I was like that. At the beginning, I thought, no, I'll just go afterwards. It's fine. 17 minutes. My bladder was like, sorry, excuse me. We need to let go of some fluid.
No.
I didn't.
I'm just checking. I need to clarify that.
But only because I was on a treadmill. If I'd have been road running, I might have gone into a bush. But I now get why you go, because I thought I was so close to beating my last score that I was not getting off that treadmill.
Oh, and all that impact was just going.
It got me focused then, because now that last 13 minutes was hellish, because all I could think about was I need to piss. Sorry, Richard, I need to do a pee.
I was waiting to see what. I was actually waiting to see what you'd say.
People are waiting for you to swear.
Oh, it's coming, not yet.
Just do a swear.
Not yet.
Say fuck.
Are you mad? Are you mad? No, it's not the time of the place.
It is the time.
It's not the time of the place. At some point, we can talk about something that really gets my goat, and I'm going to unleash, and you want me to stop.
Even then, gets my goat. Not even pisses me off. We'll have to talk about something that gets my goat, damn it.
Oh, my word. You're killing me, man.
Oh, my word. Even that. You do all of... I'm there going, fuck me. And you're going, my word. Just let out one swear.
It's coming.
Have you got a favourite swear?
No, I don't. Because I don't know. It's not like my parents ever said you can't. It's just something I think I've done so much stuff in my life that's been so mainstream PG that I've learned to sense myself when I'm talking on camera.
But I don't even think you are sensing yourself. Like, just from, you think, knowing you outside of this.
Yeah.
And I only realised in this that I've never heard you swear. Dude, 20 years. I have never heard you swear.
It's coming.
I don't think it is.
So going back to the carrot and the stick analogy, and about the fact that we were saying that ChatGPT was brutal,
yeah,
but fair. And
what was it that ChatGPT actually said? Let's break down. What is it on your post?
It was on a post. It was on a story from a few days ago.
So let's ask ChatGPT the same thing. What did they ask?
It was essentially like, please motivate me.
Please motivate me
in a harsh.
Get up and go to the gym. Be harsh
and mean
with it.
Yeah.
And mean. See, that's the thing. They've asked for it to be mean.
That's it. They know what they need.
So let's see what it says. ChatGPT. Right. All right. Listen up. You've been talking about getting stronger, looking better, and feeling more confident. But here you are, still sitting around, wasting time and making excuses. Nobody's coming to push you off the couch and drag you to the gym. This is on you. That gym membership is just a waste of money if you're not using it. You're choosing comfort over progress, and that's exactly why you're not seeing any changes that you want to see. Every day you skip, every excuse you make, you are choosing to stay exactly where you are, weaker, softer, and more frustrated. You know what you need to do. You're capable of doing it. So get up, get your shoes on, and go handle your business. Because if you don't, someone else is putting in the work. Someone else is getting stronger, and you're just falling behind. Get moving, or stop pretending you actually want this.
Oh, wow. Oh.
I mean,
come on.
I don't see anything in that wasn't true.
That was firm but fair.
I want to go back to the gym now.
Honestly, I've had a back injury and not moved much. That's going to get me up and out today.
That gym membership is just a waste of money if you're not using it.
Dude.
Facts.
Cut and paste that, send it to me, because I want that. Because that's the kind of thing I want to have on a desk or on a fridge to send to my clients.
So one of the phrases in that has just really got me: get moving or stop pretending that you actually want this. Because do you know how many times I've had conversations with people where I hear them talk and I just stop listening because I go, you're not serious.
No.
You don't really want this.
No.
I don't believe you can stop anyone from doing what they actually want to do, what they really want to do.
Yeah.
If you really want to do something,
you do it.
You're going to do it.
And yeah, I agree. Or at some point you can be forced to do it.
Yeah.
I've had clients in the past who have faffed around and then they've had a health scare.
Yeah.
And you've watched them zero in on that thing like you would not believe. And you suddenly go, is that what it took?
Speaking from experience, yes.
Right. So again, there's too many people out there who are saying, I'm fine, I'll do this in my own time.
Yeah.
Until
you realise you haven't got much time.
they haven't got the time. And it's not your choice now.
So one of the phrases I say to people is make a decision before time makes it for you.
There you go. Preach.
And it is sometimes, I mean, I think of myself of lucky of getting through that health scare to change how I train.
Yeah.
And it is with it, because do you think most people with every injury, you start training a little bit differently with because education obviously is a huge part of it.
Yeah.
But having that, I mean, even I used to, well, you remember when I was a kid, I used to smoke so heavily. And when I got
and wear bandanas and waistcoats.
Oh my God, bandanas and waistcoats at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember that checkered florally one? That was my sister's waistcoat. And I wanted it for years because it reminded me of the ones that Fresh Prince used to wear.
Yeah.
And I wanted that waistcoat.
Oh.
And when she finally gave it to me, I wore it out so proud. And I must have been with this waistcoat, 16. And I've seen pictures of me thinking I look like Will Smith. I look much more like Carlton in that.
I'm sorry, all I heard was that you were wearing your sister's clothes at 16.
I had 5 older sisters. I constantly wore my sister's clothes, apparently. They've told me this. I mean, I'll say apparently like I knew it wasn't there.
Okay, yeah.
It'd be anything that I could pass off as boy clothes back then.
Okay.
That sticks to us. You're getting the hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
And some stuff was cool.
Yeah, because you had good legs.
Well, when I think back to it, it's like, as kids don't know gender in the same way we do as adults.
Yes.
So my influence was my sisters.
Yeah.
So I liked what my sisters liked.
Got you.
Because they were the older people in my house.
Yeah.
And they were what I thought was cool.
Yeah.
So a lot of my sisters' taste in music, I share because that's what I heard. There's loads of like films. There's so many different things where I can go, I've taken that from my sisters.
Yeah, yeah. And you could probably name check them for different experiences. You'll go, oh, is that?
Yeah.
I'm the same with my brothers and sisters. I'll be like certain movies, especially like Bruce Lee films growing up.
Yeah.
My brother had a massive picture of Bruce Lee on the wall in his room. You know, we had like the claws for Game of Death. Of course, I grew up looking at that picture, all right? And in my head, and then when I got old enough to see the films, I was like, Bruce Lee is the man.
Yeah.
That wasn't my choice. That was my brother's choice.
That's always going to be what's going to be coming in.
That's it.
I used to smoke so much, and the amount of times I said I was going to quit smoking. The first time I said I was going to quit smoking was when 10 Benson and Hedges became £2. I said that's too expensive, because before that, when we started, I'd say it was about £1.50 for a box of 10 cigarettes. And I said, when it gets to £2, I'll quit smoking. And then it got to £2. I thought, maybe I won't.
Yeah.
I'll just start smoking and I'll buy a 20-pack because it's better value for money. And then I said I'd stop smoking when that got to £5. And I didn't. I think by the time I quit smoking, 2019, a pack of 20 cigarettes was close to £11-12, depending on where you were.
2019, that's how late it was.
Yeah. And the only reason, so with my heart failure, I didn't think it was heart failure. So the night before it really triggered and I got put into hospital, I started coughing up so much blood. And everyone who watches any film that sees someone cough up blood knows that that person is not going to be in the sequel.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So in my brain, I'm going, I've got lung cancer. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
There was no question about it. You see people, especially with the amount of blood that I was coughing out, it was just there. I was like, I'm going to die. And I remember thinking to myself, I always said I stopped smoking when it hurt. And at that point, I didn't realize I had a throat infection. So smoking felt like I was breathing in glass. But on that point, I couldn't smoke because it hurt to smoke. So but I thought when I get home, they'll give me the treatment. My throat will stop hurting. I've got cancer now. I'm smoking. Because I was so angry at myself.
Yeah.
Because I always promised I'd never leave my kids. I'd never have my kids feel how I felt.
Yeah.
And now I'm faced with this reality that I might be leaving my kids and it will be because of something that I did.
Yeah.
And I've never felt a sense of such self-loathing. So when we got to the hospital and after a few days and they told me it was heart failure, I was like, yes.
Yes. I was
The look on that doctor's face, and I'm there going, woo!
Ring the bell. Ring the bell.
Heart failure. Like, it was, because I explained to him, I thought you were going to walk in here and tell me that I had lung cancer.
Yeah.
He goes, no, we've done everything. Like, there's no cancer. And I've not had a cigarette since that day because I was like, you've got a second chance. I always feel like I want a cigarette.
Yeah. I hear that.
And it made me understand addiction a lot more because I remember speaking to alcoholics that don't drink anymore and thinking, why do you call yourself an alcoholic if you don't drink? I thought that because you were an alcoholic and now you've stopped drinking. Whereas I get it now because I still feel like a smoker.
Yeah.
I just don't smoke. I always want a cigarette, but I know I will probably never do it.
I keep coming back to paraphrasing things you said because it's so interesting as a coach because my job is to listen.
Yeah.
So when people say certain things, I sometimes allow them to speak and I hook onto something and think, actually, I need to let them finish their bit. I need to come back to it. You said about the fact that you want to be there for your kids.
Yeah.
And for so many people, the whole thought of the carrot and the stick, sometimes it needs to be something bigger than that.
Yeah.
Because so much of people wanting to get fit or be healthy or not making time and not making their fitness and their health a priority, okay, is a bit selfish.
Yeah.
Because you're going, I haven't got time. But not being funny, if you with a few scrolls and a few hits on your phone, you can know exactly how much time you spend on social media. All right? And people are spending 5, 10, 20, 50 hours a week on social media, scrolling Facebook, Instagram, whichever the case would be.
Have you looked at your screen time?
I've looked at my screen time.
What's your screen time like?
Mine's not too bad actually. I can't remember what it was. It's probably like sort of like 14 hours across a week. Because I'll do like maybe an hour.
I'm asking ChatGPT. What is the average screen time for adults on their phones?
Imagine mention social media.
Or just say screen time generally.
Okay.
Right, so the average screen time for adults on their phone typically falls between 3 to 5 hours per day.
There you go.
So, I mean, I'm scared to look at mine now just in case it's more. My screen time. Okay, so my daily average is 4 hours, which is down 30% from last week.
Really?
I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm going to put a lot of that to me being on the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
I think that is where most guys' screen time comes from because it starts off with just you being there and then all of a sudden it's half an hour later and you can't feel your legs.
Yeah.
But you've seen how to make a knife out of some discarded metal, even though I'm never going to do that.
Oh, no. I got lost watching a man hunt like chicks. Digging holes.
Yeah.
And
I've seen those.
You've seen those?
Yeah.
Dude, I went to toilet. I was there so long I forgot why I was in there.
Have you seen those videos where they like make a cave like just out of mud?
Oh, dude.
And I have to watch the whole video.
Right, and those videos aren't short.
No. So another thing that will give people a wake-up call is injury.
Yeah.
And even speaking to you over this last week, like, you fucked your back.
Yeah. I probably messed it up.
What did you do?
It goes back to a condition a previous injury I had like 13 years ago, which wiped me out. So I slipped, I herniated 2 discs. And at the same time, it hit the root nerve of my spine. So my left side wasn't working much. Okay. And that was like 13 years ago, before Esme was born. Couldn't walk for about 5 weeks. I was bedbound, had to go and get my partner to literally walk me to the toilet and help me with everything. So that was then. Since then, I've gone for my rehab. I've made sure I've stayed mobile, strong, fit. All the things I do has kept it at bay. I didn't have any surgery. I don't want to do that. Okay, it wasn't my first port of call, but I've always been fine. But every now and then I get a flare up. And last week I accidentally stepped off a step, my legs straight, and I jarred it in the ground. As happens, it's quite innocuous, there's nothing. But my back was like, no. The impact must have gone straight to my right side. And basically my discs flared up. So I end up sitting down on the floor in the gym. And then eventually I realized I couldn't stand up. So I had to wave down 2 PTs. Bearing in mind I wasn't even in my own home gym. It was in a different gym. So to get these PTs to carry me to a sofa, I was sitting there trying to get my back to move. It just more and more pain. In the end, I had to try and make my way to the car park. Humbling experience. I'm shuffling as the back's seizing up. It's in a lot of pain. I'm doubled over.
Did you have to drive yourself?
I had to drive myself because I was down in Sevenoaks. I was down in Kent. Because I was getting some service done on my car. And that's why I was in a different gym. An old guy, must have been in his 80s, asked me if I wanted a hand.
Oh, wow.
He was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, my back. And he's like, I've been there. Can I help you with anything? I said, no. I said, it looks bad. And we had a laugh and a joke, but this 80-year-old dude, it was like, do you need help? And I was like, I can't. Anyway, long story short, I managed to get myself home. M25 wasn't pleasant. By the time I got to the front door, I had to phone into the house to go and get help from my partner and my little one to help me into the house. And I was on the sofa for 4 days. Couldn't get upstairs and had to crawl to the bathroom. So, I haven't trained in a week and a half. And yeah, it's humbling.
How has that hit you mentally from not being able to train? Because I know what I get like if I'm not even injured, I struggle on rest days.
Yeah.
I'm not good at resting because I feel like I want to be doing something.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Do you know what? And it's funny because my daughter said to me, Daddy, aren't you bored? And I was like, no, I'm okay. Because I couldn't sit up properly, so I was laid on my side or my back for a lot of the time. But the best analogy, the best way to describe it is, like in Star Trek, if they're under attack and like they get one of their rockets shot and it's down, and they'll phone out to Scotty and say, divert power from here to the cockpit or to the other side. That's how it feels for me. Because I go, okay, I can't train. But what happened was I'm laying there. And
Such a geek.
Why not? I know.
That's the analogy you're using.
Well, yeah.
80% of people just went, what?
Well, I'm explaining because it's like
Who's
this shit.
Scotty?
Yes. If you don't know, people go and look at Star Trek. But yeah, honestly, it's like the engines are down. So I'm like, divert power from the engines to the shield. Does that make sense? So when I can't move and these things happen, I laid there and I had my notepad and I was writing down so many ideas I had, so many things I was going to do when I got fit again.
Right, okay.
And so what I did is I laid there going, actually, it's the universe telling me to stop for a minute. I know it's not permanent.
Yeah.
It's just a patience game.
Oh, listening to your body is the worst.
It really is the worst. But do you know what? I've come out of it. I'm moving again now. I can't wait to get back training. But I've created so many new things that I'm going to be doing that I'm excited about over the next few months as a result of being there.
Getting injured. That one is a real lesson in humility.
Totally.
And you realise, even with the smallest injury, what that actually takes, the bigger picture, if you like.
Yeah.
I remember cracking my shoulder and thinking, and there was, just from years of rugby, there's a joint I've cracked the bone.
Okay.
So it took me out for about a month. But at the beginning of that month, I was like, it's fine, I just can't do shoulders. Then I tried to do push-up, thought, okay, I can't do that. And then I can't do dumbbell curls. I can't do pull downs. I was like, okay, the whole top half is gone now. And then I was like, okay, so I can do legs, but then I couldn't hold a hold a bar because it's on my shoulder. I thought maybe I'll just do cardio, running, and you realise even the smallest joints, how much they affect the rest of the body.
Oh my Lord, yeah.
I'm still thinking about ChatGPT and how brutal that was.
I'm not joking.
But I think that is such an important... The important phrase in that is still get moving or stop pretending you actually want this. Because I think what people should do, and it's a really hard thing to do, is be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
I've struggled with that because the weird thing is, you know the truth.
Yeah.
Like in your heart, in your mind, you know the truth.
Yeah.
Whatever you're telling other people doesn't really matter. You know it.
All right. Let's play a game. I'll ask you, then you ask me.
Oh God.
All right. What is with regards to your health, your fitness, your body and everything, what is your absolute truth that you know that you've never said out loud to anyone before?
Oh, that is a tough one. So in regard to what is my truth? The biggest one is I know that I'm lazy. I really am, and I have to constantly tell. I didn't even like saying that. I have to constantly tell myself, and it's the things I've said to my nephews. I say it to my kids. How you'll do one thing is how you'll do everything. And when I tell them that, I know that I'm talking to me. Because even small things, not even just training, I might have dropped something on the floor and I look at it knowing I should pick it up, but I'll leave it there. And I have to remind myself, how you do one thing is how you'll do everything. And that part, me knowing the laziness of it, has helped me push through.
Okay, good.
Because I think once you admit something and you take ownership of it, then you can start to deal with it. What's an insecurity that nobody knows about you?
I am good enough.
So knowing that you're good enough.
I'm good enough, yeah. I think it just comes down to being... Do you know what? The truth is, I just want to be left alone. I'm still that little geek, that little kid who just wants to read more books and have my own space, do things. I think my insecurity, my biggest insecurity that people don't know is I am good enough. No matter what I do, I feel like...
Oh, no, so your insecurity is you don't think you are good enough.
Yeah. Because no matter what I do, I think I always know I could do more with everything. And so I'm always like, why have you stopped there? Why don't you just keep pushing? You could go through that glass ceiling.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I've done enough. People are proud of me. People seem to be happy with what I've done. That's enough.
Yeah.
When I feel like I could have done more of not just doing something, I could have done 20, 30% more. And so I think people's belief in me, I match myself to people's belief in me. When people go, you can do this, I'll be like, I can do it.
So the whole thing of you thinking you could have done more, because I get that. So we do this thing in the gym where on 2 exercises, we rep to failure. But we rep to, so you'll rep to my failure, not yours.
Okay.
Because where you think you're done, you've probably got another 3 reps in you.
Yeah.
And all we do is we count to 5. That's it. And we just count to 5 and then we count to 5 again. So we're not, because mentally, once I start thinking 28, 29, my body says I'm tired, but I know I can do 5 reps.
Yeah.
So we do it that way. And having that external push in that situation really helps, because where I do want to give up, and because you've got someone that you trust there going, you've got one more, that pushes behind you. But what I learned from that outside of it is what true failure feels like in regard to working out. So with everything, if I feel that I've given it my absolute all, and again, that's something only you know.
Yeah.
Because you know when you haven't.
Oh, yeah.
But if I feel like I've given it my absolute all, I'm very much with you in learning to tell myself I've done enough,
Yeah.
and I am enough.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of the balance that took a long time to find.
Yeah.
And also another thing that done it is I was an arsehole at school.
Okay.
And one of my real paranoias is thinking that my teachers were right about me.
Oh, okay. I think the pressure for me was different because I was a bit of a geek swat at school, but I also did lots of sports. So I guess in my head, I wanted to be like that Ferris Bueller who was popular and friendly with everyone. The geeks like me, the sports people like me, I was cool. The teachers were all like, I was deputy head boy. So I'd sit on stage with the headmaster and everything else. I wasn't head boy, I was deputy head boy. But we did lots of cool things. Now, I should be really proud of going, I was the first black deputy head boy at my school. Okay, so in history, I feel like, I've gone down in history.
Mm.
It didn't sit like that with me because I just felt like I wasn't quite good enough. I could have been head boy. I was doing athletics as well. You go, was that enough? My teachers all had such high expectations for me.
So it's the other side of when and everyone's got such high expectations.
There you go.
Fear of failure.
It's absolutely that. It's fear of letting. It's the fear of letting people down. It's not just my intrinsic fear of failure. It's letting other people down.
Yeah.
And also, I grew up with my parents going, "Don't let us down," which
Yeah,
they're definitely right to have put that to us because all of us kids have done okay.
Well, do you know what, Richard? You are enough.
I hope so.
I mean, you didn't say it back, so I hate you now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it out there.